there's one stock that is about to skyrocket. It is a rare earth stock. Rare earths is important because in response to, it's murky as to who exactly started what, right? But massive market move down on Friday. Trump had a Truth Social tweet saying that there's going to be tariffs on China because they don't want to supply the U.S. with rare earths. And in response to that, the market went down quite a lot, okay? The market did go down quite a lot when Trump started talking about tariffs earlier in this year. I mean, that was like a 20-30% move down. Not 30%. We'll look exactly at the percents, but the important part is Friday was scary, okay? Because September went up every single day, it's felt like, and we basically retraced all of September in a single day for the market as a whole. So Saturday happened. Trump hasn't said anything. Sunday's happening. We're going to see how futures open up. And as of the time of this video coming out and you watching it, things might be rosier. They might have another down day on Monday. But what we do know is that rare earths are in the spotlight, and some rare earth tickers did experience some gains on Friday. And there's one ticker, MP Materials, one company that I think is the company to invest in right now amid this rare earths uncertainty. If you like this type of idea, hit that like button.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is the chart for MP Materials Corporation. This is the move on Friday. And it might seem like, oh, okay, what's the big deal? You know, it had some big days here, it had some bigger days here. And it's like, well, the big deal is if we can sort of zoom in and look at this overlay, this is the SPY in the background. The SPY went down a lot from 670 down to about 650 and change, which is a lot. That's 20 points on a 600 point, index. So whatever that is, that's maybe 4%, something like that. And now people are wondering what's going to happen on Monday. So if the SPY can go down a couple percent in a day, 3% or more, and pretty much give up what looks like most of September's gains, then what's going to happen now. So that's the challenge, when something goes down a few percent, it actually takes more than a few percent to go back up to the same level, right? That's the sort of mathematical gimmick that is the problem with drawdowns. But if you didn't have your whole position, your whole account in the market as a whole, aka SPY, aka QQQ, whatever ETFs you're talking about, the small cap index is actually similar and not that realistic that you would have all your net worth in a small cap index. That would be a little crazy, I would think. But we're going to see what happens when futures open up today. As of the time of recording this video, this is Sunday, October 12th. And rare earth stocks went up. I mean, there are companies like USAR that, have lifted off. And then on Friday, that helped them as well. There are companies like CRML, which I'm hesitant even to mention. This is a penny stock with crazy volume, but it did have a green day on Friday. But it has to be MP in terms of building out a base for multiple months, really, at this point, and having a higher low here and having a green day on Friday. Is this definitely going to have a green day on Monday, given all the euphoria around rare earth companies, U.S. rare earth companies. Maybe not. Maybe the market will pull back more, and it could just be a whole run for the exits, and we could come down to 635 and have another 4% down day or something like that. I don't think that's like the most likely case given the extremeness of Friday's move. We'll probably for the next week or so chop down somewhere around this level that we sort of hit here, not necessarily because the market sort of went sideways here in August. I mean, it didn't really go sideways. It went up a little bit, but this was ugly at the beginning of August, right? I think we're going to get some chop kind of like back in August, and it will lead to some buying opportunities. I did mention AMD, but MP Materials has to be the rare earth company that has some eyeballs in it, on it, and some opportunity in it. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to come down and hold above this level, which it hit here and here. This is a lot of volume, but we'll see. And there have been some moves in the past for MP that have been pretty extreme. This was the $400 million Department of, I believe, Energy investment back in early, that would have been July, followed by the Apple deal, where MP sort of has an agreement with Apple. So this is the behemoth in the rare earth space. There's a bunch of sort of rapid fire press releases that are going to come out tomorrow, that came out on Friday, that don't really strike me as constructive and just sort of spike your cortisol, and don't have a lot of new information. So yeah, I mean, Trump is considering this increase in tariffs. The sector gained after China's Commerce Ministry announced that foreign suppliers must obtain approval to export certain products containing rare earth materials. Okay, so that's the problem, and this could be the solution. And the question becomes, how much do you basically trust MP for being that rare earth supplier? So they did have some agreements with Apple, some agreements with the government. ChatGPT is hallucinating a little bit here, but I don't think you can just throw all your net worth in these rare earth materials, or even say 30% of your net worth. I think that's crazy to jump into these rare earth companies, even if MP Materials is the most likely one, in my opinion, to be a vehicle for your wealth creation in the next couple days to a week, given the market sort of selling off. I do think that all of these headlines are a little bit possibly overblown and definitely repetitive and not all that constructive. Looking at the chart is bad. You could be a day trading dip buyer down here, but I don't think that's really where you want to invest your time long term. So I do think USAR and CRML are worth watching to see if they digest a little bit after the next couple of weeks, and then maybe have a leg up. I think this is a good initial euphoria for those sort of more penny stock sort of de-spec, evolving into real company names. But I do think that MP Materials is the name right now, and if you're unfamiliar with it, this is basically the partnership from the Department of Defense. I wasn't sure if it was Defense or Energy. Is Department of Defense, which is actually almost, you could say, more intriguing from an investor perspective because their partnerships might last longer and might have a bigger budget, Department of Defense versus Department of Energy. And there's the whole national security implications. And then this agreement with Apple is also nice to have a little bit of diversification away from the government. And $500 million is no joke. And this $200 million prepayment is also no joke. So that's the company and why it has some legitimacy. That's the chart and why it has some expectation of a move to the sideways, or at least to the upside, or at least to the side for a bit, and then start to move up amidst a very difficult time to pick stocks to buy, which is right now after the stock market just had a big move down, because a lot of charts that may have looked interesting suddenly don't look interesting anymore. In fact, Apple itself being one of the largest examples of that, on sort of a year-long breakout. You could call it a multi-year breakout that failed. Okay, a lot of people were anticipating that this could be pretty interesting, and of course now we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. It could be after the earnings, after the Apple event. Now this is no longer as interesting as it was, but that's what we do as investors, mid to long-term investors. We don't just hop in the SPY and get crushed on a day like Friday. We do hop in stocks that we think make sense. I think MP makes sense for some portion of your portfolio going into next week. And if you like these videos, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe. And if you like talking about stocks, if you want to do so in a community, you have some questions you want to ask me, head over to stockscommunity.com, try it out for $25 for 7 days. And I will see you in the next video. Not financial advice. Good luck. Manage your own risk. And the market, Friday was bad, but it's unlikely to go down to, February levels, which was where we had that initial tariff slowdown. In my opinion, no one's a macro magician, but everyone wants to know what's going to happen. So I have to say something.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.